Results will be Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We thank you for participating in this process. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We'll go straight now to the first session. There are two legs that move through international work. And of course, the first, as I said, is membership. Why the second one is what? Second one is what? Building foundation, membership. So we link it to our leader, assistant governor, growing membership through attraction and engagement, and to our and the extent human engagement as a when you say this big doctor. But if you don't know, everything I guess afraid. We are here to go through the first brain, look at the possibility of how we can attract people to our clubs, and how we can also benefit from attracting. So that look as if going to all of you. So, as we all aware, membership is something that you cannot stop to talk about. Both in our organization and effective club, without membership, no organization can strive for anything, whether political, whether in church, whether in the world. You need to talk to people who listen. These are the followers. When you don't, you need people to work together, share ideas, and impact our community. So let's look at what is actually membership attractive. The clearly regarded access 2 levels of membership development. It is the expectation of Rotary and Rotary International. Rotarians to reduce from vibrant club, but achieve it, we must have an effective and platform and engagement. Because if you don't have something of ground, if you cannot attract people to your club, it's like when you plant a tree and it's tough to grow. What happens to that tree? It dies. But when you grow your tree and you also continue to nurture the tree will away. We need the two things, attract and again. So how do we do this? Let's quickly look at some things within the computing base. Most of these things are things that some of us better know, either we fail to apply them, or we forget, or we overlook them, think they are not important. But I can tell you, they are very, very important if we want to have an effective Rotary club. Take attraction for example. Attraction is an act of process. Or when you're bringing in new members into it, that should be the same thing. Bringing these members. Bringing this members. Because we need to be able to attract somebody, then convince somebody. But inviting somebody to go through in front of the target, you might think it's easy, not easy. Because you will ask the person somebody what to do. But you need to consider that there are things and friendly you can make that are worth money and you never know. So we need to have a strategy that we can apply to be able to attract this money. First, we have to identify the people you intend to attract. Because you might have 2 to 10 friends, it's not everybody that you can actually to do that. So you'll be able to find out that this person is something like that you are going to talk. How to identify those people from you. Then when you are be able to say, okay, yes, Mr. My friend, I want to discuss with you this. Without to find out what method you use. Because every situation has its better. That's the truth. Because it's not what you tell it at A, and in this, I will tell it at B, and I can put it, you have to find kind of person. How do I approach it? When you find out, yes, you will talk to me. And it's busy. Talk to me once, talk to me twice. This person can actually listen to me. You invite him into your club. And the next step, invite that person into your club. The next step. But don't forget, before you invite a new into your club, make sure you have good attendance in your club. Because we should invite that first person. And nobody is your maybe not only to get. And the day you got it to get, you only have 10 people in the 10. It will be difficult for you to get that to come back to 2. So that so you will say, why you do your own work? And make sure your club is actually active. And make sure your members are active. When you are being forward, when you talk to the community, you see different places, saying the same thing. You will be the one to ask them, when are you going to that or the bonus? Because by the end of that fellowship, you are able to say, that's what I just said, create and then value. But you must make sure you are not bringing that person an empty hall of your club. You tell the person my club and look at it, say it is 40. And the day you come to show you are only thinking, you lose that person. As it is true, you lose the person. You bring up you go back, you make sure you do that people will be around. But as the leader of people, you must identify somebody who is area. Don't think that somebody is jack of all trades. Identify somebody in your club. It doesn't really have to be you. Just like I am now, so because I so my dogs are with the it's very to work to support. And that committee was formed up. This will be here we are deep. Because the church this will be by the end of 75. Challenge yourself. Some people, another member, this is what we are doing. Give me your commitment. Where you want us to be. But you must know where you are, where you want to be, and what Next slide. Then let's look at a gateway for it. It's expected that from the key existing members and also engage new members. And don't say because this person is not coming to join us and you after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 6 weeks, somebody that will be active in day. And make sure when you are taking everything is aware. So that somebody will not feel there's a papa, just a set of people that involved. Suggestions and let me so that at the end of the day, you feel like you are carrying everybody along, and everybody belongs to that strong and family. When you do that, to assure that the new person that comes to that, look at our people ourselves, the meaning now again, I thought we hear it for me. But you only start having a feeling. The already feeling like you are not belong, where you are for, and before you know that I'm supposed to be the people to do that as well. Yes, let us look at these friendly strategies that we can use to engage whether new or old Rotarians in our club. But ask yourself, why are we using the bank? And then ask yourself, why are you going there? We are not using the bank from 100, from 80, no one really 40. You must not distract. You must find out why, what are we doing right? But I can tell you, one of the things that are going wrong is not having quality energy. That's one of the big things. The second one is don't do anything. And the third one is attracting people who are not rotating, but want to wake up normal. Bring them in. It's just like the people. They will come in to go out to you are where you are. You must look for those people that are rotating. I want to say, not those people that are looking for what am I going to gain, but what to use. What you complete yourself and expect you to looking for what don't bring you if you don't pick up and destroy your problem. Now bringing you to be able to complete what you need. Don't be made it without you. If you find everybody, I want to put people to get out and pay. You need to have a divided account. Like I mentioned, retaining members is engaging them, give them something to do as soon as possible. Find out which area are they, which area are they good, which area are they having specialists, which area are they teaching my job. But there are people and there are different areas and not strong. It's not the same way I will do it. That's not one of them. You must find out where this person can reach from. Let it go to the strength immediately. You do stimulate, it's very key. You do stimulate, very key. Make sure, like I said, you have a big situation that you come up for the good fellowship as area together when you're there. You begin to see that people will not be for this job, either of the club, without carrying the member along, for you to do or only to love. To believe mostly against A is that we have to move. Even when you came, you start the leg. We don't say that, and you have the vision and don't trust in your leadership. We also learn to forget when somebody brings great in our group. Instead of taking that text, what we normally do is to get the person and say, hey, you live on somebody has told you not happen. Well, it happened. They don't might not have you money. You know that thing you are doing well, you are done. Thank you. Because one member, 1 person, 4 in your club. If you do the club, the non-percent. Because actually going to the control. But when they ask the voice of everything, you see they are 50. How many do it? So you should appreciate those who are introducing the club. Let us see the people. So let's show people that you know from our training, for example, you can just call somebody, claim the other. You know for this to be here. So we have seen the handling or that is no that is silent. Then people know the sense of order. But if I do that, or I do a way of control, it means I don't recognize and president or by the executive control. I have gone to so many doors to talk about that. And in the meeting, an environment that you think dropping a flare of their club activities over the year. You don't pay anyone. They are not distributing the hotel. You cannot have a concept. They say, where somebody can come and come to this check. Some of us are afraid they don't have anything. But we have something in mind like what we do with people. You don't wait until you have been at paper or you can do it. You have to have. And you have to be but you make 4 5 days, you not all the time. You tend to be there. And let people community go be drinking. Because you are not doing the activity. That will probably in text. When come the way from crack of glass, see that kind read something like good government in government. Getting back to the government, it's like 2 people at work. What for the saw the pamphlet or the paper and it's of the text where it was not being rejected. You got this rejected. You can afford them after you go to the people see your thing. Those who have been there, never knew that in that person. So, those on you are committing before you communicate that has taken. And you go to is what we have done and that. Then we have this again. We don't bring in opinions without knowledge. Them to the new routine. Let that be, let be very good to that meeting.
and let that person have an ask question about food and explain it way. The only way you learn something is for this and this is free. Nobody is saying free. We expect 150 or 200. You are not paying for it, just come and listen. The only payment you are paying is paying your support these days, and yet you cannot learn. I can tell you, I will put you in it's simple. The only way you learn is now and also attending other growing clubs. Don't stay in your club until it's all. Visit other clubs that you know that you. And I'm telling you, I tell you, leave that club, you will go for that place. You want to be trained, you know about it. So, I and exactly the administration with your problem. Like I mentioned earlier, once you start having a crowd, that's the beginning of that problem. I went to the club and I told them, maybe you are 102. I said, don't delay. Don't delay. Just play and you all have that point. Sure, not really. And we can extend it out every possible before you get it. But it's not one that is never to be managed to get best. In fact, you are growing more than said. Our good job is to and our whole level is to try and educate ourselves. We are far below it. But like I tell you, we have to throw questions here. It's not because I don't because they don't you don't knowledge is not invite and please why is if you have no 1, 2, 3 days to take your community, invite leader to that community. If you waste, because there is a way that you have to do your complaint. Nobody will do for you. Nobody will do for you. And they give information, and clear away everything information. About 3 months ago, the district read for these people have defined and 5 people that they need to do through our website. And Rotary now will invite people to district where they identify agents. And the district for all rotate. So I'm putting that space where people will allocate to them They already have knowledge of food. How many people we have to How many people we have to How many people we were there? You did get any from that. You give some. How many people we have to Just like I imagine the bacteria of all plus when ready. When you are looking for them, they are telling you that there is money very small and small body. You will not be able to go one day and you will not there. We are having another one with level. Level is today. Level is today. We are having another one and not over 200 applicants who are looking for employment in our country. Because those who think that is to go and nothing of them when they will there and there. Now left for them to follow in before at the end of the time we will ask the question, how many of these people will be this is nobody for you. And you are busy. Follow me. Don't forget to always bring us make information to many of our business. That's where maybe to no was in Rome, you have an opportunity. Second point, first, you look at the job where are we, where you want to be, and how do we get there? Okay. Because of that, we begin to firstly, the following cases, your whole school job. Tomorrow, we can be involved, we can be with all that we do. Let's be straight. Let's be funny. Let's have people now go back to the road to the world. Yes, like this. The question about as we make one form. We don't platform from who bring and you are maybe looking at it as if you are one of us, you were able to bring, or you were not able to bring. That is the only one approach the government will do as well. That's the only way our government I can tell you, yes, out. For those of us who is 95 years, any more for today. I've never seen you people are not they bring you over but this is here and as far maybe for years because people will be going to it has brought people to well, this the kids class growth will improve. Yes. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, so we very important presentation. We want to it's something about activities, and then we can see that it's decisive. You will know that some of these things are what's actually thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. We appreciate you. And you were able to say that as a when you say when it started, so that we know it's really so start this session so that we can release something else influence and sustainability in the and in our visual way, we are going to have the citation of the bodies. We are going to see this. So we can see to 6 and see the of the next speaker. A very wonderful a very category and I can see physically to will be inviting to the stage a national H to go to the 5 years of banking experience. Talking about specifically as really but I don't see how a lot of things because she did some of the
Good afternoon, everyone. Standing in the existing protocol, I'd like to appreciate the district governor who present and past. Thank you for your opportunity to be here to share with you of this topic. I hope that with the little time I have, because I've had now of my time has cut short. I hope to squeeze in a little bit of things for us to just take with us. So thank you. I appreciate you invited me to be here today. So on that note, we're talking today about business growth and sustainability in a volatile economy. We all know how Nigeria is. How many people are even go to that level? How many people are in business? Can you really know? Wow. That's the number of us in business. So, we know that we have another things are progressing. The period in which we are is the trying period for each and every one of us. And the period that businesses are struggling, just the way our economy in Nigeria is struggling for now. When we look at how the effects have been going, in fact, I don't like looking at the exchange rate anymore because it is scary. It's just falling every minute by day. And then also what the issue of the fuel subsidy, where it has brought us and everything. The fact is that the trying period for us. But the fact still remains that although the world that I exist, even though the Nigerian economy is not healthy at the moment, but the fact remains that for those of us that are in business, we will still try able to continue with what we do. And the more reason why some of us don't Japan. We know that people be trying, but then we still have to continue. And let's look at what are the basic things that we actually need to do. And let's first of all look at the opportunities in Nigeria. What are the opportunities? Nigeria used to be a land flowing with milk and honey. And at the same time, there are few opportunities that we have here in Nigeria. I'll just take us through a little bit of what, this is the content of what we're going to do today. And we talk about today. I don't need to go through it, we'll go through it step by step. Can we go to the next slide? I just want to show us a little bit of how Nigeria is, Nigerian demographics and fiscal characteristics. You can see, I just put on one or two things. Our population. The 2022 is 477 billion. And this is actually coming down a little bit because we are not compared to the previous year, because we are not really too much in production of many things. We will rather depend on where there's so much tension on the foreign exchange, because we just like importing things, and recently we have even lifted the ban on the importing things like jute feed and the rest of it. So what do we do that here in Nigeria? We begin to wonder what we did not produce, and then earning income to go to school and income. And our economy. Our labor force was 60 million in 2022, and the rest of it is actually because an indicator of the fact that there is opportunity even in this land. There is opportunity when we spoke, and that's what we said that we have for the Rotary create what we want. The same way we are in Nigeria. In Nigeria, the opportunities are there. The fact that the economy is not doing well right now, the truth of the matter is that some of us are doing business some people are still making money, some people are still making income. I look at the financials of an organization I can't remember the name now. They made in last year, they made 3 times of what they made in the previous year. So that means something is still happening. That's what we're saying here. And something is still happening next time. So what are the challenges faced by the businesses? We all know there are a lot of challenges that we face here from the health and things like that. We all know that we have a lot of challenges. We have challenges of the network, we have challenges of social challenges, economic challenges that is actually affecting us right now. So the physical challenges, of course, people will, and there will be some policy and some legislation, legislative policies that will come, and they will say, oh, they are banned tomorrow, you have to pay tax or pay tax on that. In terms of moving things back and forth, these are the challenges, foreign exchange challenges we cannot underestimate them. Those are actually affecting our businesses, and quite a lot of businesses are dying. And next slide. I'll be talking about the next slide. Strategic common challenges that confront macro, small, and medium businesses in Nigeria, including difficulty in accessing finance, poor staff quality, poor business knowledge and discipline, inadequate public infrastructure, government policy, shipping, and the rest of it, corruption and bribery, that you cannot get jobs for some of us are doing businesses with state, federal government, you don't get anything out of those, we just work so stand and so on. So those are challenges that we face even in this economy. We are talking about your business growth and sustainability. So how do you sustain your business? How do you survive? How do you move it to the next level? And we're just going to look at one or two things concerning business growth advantage. You can see we have financial, vision, marketing, goal setting, teamwork, growth, and planning. Those are some elementary things that we as business owners need to do and so that we can have a sustainable business. Some of the things I remember doing in 2020, when we had a COVID year, quite a lot of business went on, quite a lot of business because they could not just put things together. And then the COVID and the lockdown actually made those businesses to collapse. Some that they are able to survive in, now this climate period is also affecting them. So there are some basic things that we need to put in place that we need to have to ensure that the business we have from people to actually make our needs and livelihood to sustain it. It grows beyond what is actually happening in the economy. It grows over and beyond, even to sustain us. So what are the things that we need to do? Let's talk about growth. What does growth mean to you? What does it mean to you? A business growth, what does it mean? Is it just maybe selling one or two more items, or developing and ensuring that we have outlets more than one or two? What does it really mean to you? How do you measure growth of your business? How do you, and then when should you start growing? How do you stop growing? When do you stop growing? Who is responsible for your business growth? I want to think that about those things in our hearts. For those of us that have started, that have been doing business a year, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I want us to ponder this question in our mind. Who is responsible for your business growth? And your competitors in terms of growth? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. And we look at the 4 elements of sustainable business growth. 4 key elements. Think sustainability. Sustainability is your ability to be able to, make that business to surpass challenges and surpass time period and even to the next level, even beyond you and beyond yourself. That sustainability, long-term growth. The first one can be the 24 hours together. 24 hours together. Know your market niche and competition. Your market niche, what makes you different? What makes you exceptional in that business? What makes you to stand out? Then the second one, can we read together? Right, sustainable revenue. What do we mean by sustainable revenue? The income that you have, how can you sustain it? Even just like the challenging time, the trying time, how can you sustain that revenue? The third one is scalable business. Are you designed for the you have structured it to grow and to really additional income, even added and having been provided with a little bit of more resources. Are you structured it in that goes to grow, or is it just me, I and myself, that is running that business and we are not going to take all the tasks? Then the third one, is focus on profitability. Focus on profitability. We are going to look at some of these things. Really, we are going to look at some of these things as we go to the next slide. How do we do that? We are talking about clear, articulate, and smart goal. What is the smart goal? Anyone? A smart goal is a goal that is specific, achievable, realistic, and environment. Yes, making smart goals for your business. It's not just about starting a business and going. It's like playing soccer or playing football in the field, and you don't know the direction of where you're going. You start that goal. You just be going around this, making the people talking about I want to be in the next 1 year, in the senior, what I want to achieve, the rest of the time, I want to get all the ground from a big thing I want to do. I mean, you must have a goal that you're doing to others that are, where you're going to, where you're this is what we want to achieve, and this is who we are, and this is what I don't think so. You must have a goal. I mean, we are not about sitting down and just looking at just the goal in our environment. I want to go even over and beyond the stage where we are. We are the goal. This is what I want to. So you measure the work and which is effective leadership for you as the owner of the vision and the mission of the where we want to be. It is not about what we do, it's for you to know that it's that will sustain me and I am even to the people that are behind me. Next slide. We're talking about what you do in your business. Who do people know you ask? Your unique selling proposition. Your unique selling proposition, these are the clear benefits and features that differentiate the function from competitors. What makes you different from any other person? When would Mr. A, why would you be short of one and two and go short? And that is what will make you sustain your business. What does people do for you? You might do your products, your quality of your product, you might do your services, or any job, one of the ones and then do session about you, they might be your teach. As a piece stand out but nobody shall run and I'm going to shop that if you're going to I get to shop because I can do anything. What makes you unique? So I don't have the numbers that, anyhow, anyone. But that special thing comes to up. I don't know, it's very funny. You have one, you have a reach that people will know and know. If you want to stay, go to if you want to be, and everything, don't be away and so you have that. You have that. If you don't have that, you have not really made stuff to create a reach for yourself and your business. So rather than doing or and rather than try other things, don't you find a reach for yourself and create it. Like I said, you can do your pitch, you can be a silent lady, you can even be a location that makes or attract people to you. That people will know that no, that is the person that I want to do business with. That's the thing that sustain your business over time. That people will know that the person that will want to do. That's like marketing strategy. Marketing one office. Now I take time and program. You go to the market and you find out what you have in the market like kind of what last week. The business person, how do you your business? Well, it's people that must in line with what market is saying. When our business now, maybe all raw material or things to use and the cost as well. The cost to your anyhow. What is the market saying? Some of us don't even want to work for competition with what market saying, don't put any price. You might find out that you yourself out of the market. So when you're doing your market, what we do is analyze so as number one, the idea of going to enter into a business or going to enter into the market. What is attractive that will buy for me? That's the type of marketing strategy. Then the place, where are you located? Are you located near the target market? Who are the people you actually want to that too far away from them, then definitely can get you important, knowing that they can do the English and they can do the channel of distribution, and so on. Even the people that they go that and the clients and they're going to sell to. The promotion, which is advertisement publicity. Many people don't make use of the social media that we have now. I can say that it is really effective with your social media. Your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Twitter, and the rest of them in terms of the business. Because we don't have everybody on social media now, everybody can see what you are doing. Direct marketing, referral, and all the rest of it. Those are what makes the public to know what you are doing. So those are the things under our house and under our home. Nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows the quality of what they're doing. They don't even know you. So you need to put yourself out there to say that this is what I do and this is what my business is all about. And when you can get more patronage, when you can get referrals. So publicity in terms of that involve excess. So that people can actually know you and know where you're coming from, know what to do, and know what to value your service and add to them. And then which is one of the most important marketing. What you in your essence. If you look at something that is not of quality, then look for something else that will add value to me. So this is kind of product or service. And because of that, they don't have people returning them, or they don't have people returning back to them, able to buy. So that is the very, very important aspect. Let's move on. Then the financial management. This is also very important. Our financial management is especially business people, they don't think financial things are real. And in the other world, we don't even know whether the business you're doing, you're even making profit or you're looking for. I tell you, you have the knowledge of that. What you are doing is actually active. Really, you might be doing business running up and down, round and round for money to that. And at the end of the day, if you look at your account and your revenue, you're not really making profit. And you want to know because you don't keep this and record, and you really don't know how to do it. At this time, an accountant that you help people to ensure me that this is what you are making, or this is what you have made, so that you can be as a part of each of them, so that you can be that to know how God is doing. But we don't even have it. The fact that we have the question is something that we are making from, and that's also unless we are able to into this and you can for this one and make it for me, for this one and make this for me, and then we do the same analysis of the recovery we have made in the previous years and what we have followed. Even if we for the test description, or the test that everybody is and we can check on what nationality or how government can works. How do I increase my productivity? How do I increase my skills? So if you don't do that, and you don't do it, then I'm going to know that it's how my organization has been performed. So I'm going to just see some other things. I'm going to talk about this because this is essential. Next slide, please. Can we go to the next one? Let's go to slide sustaining your business in global times. That's one from sustaining your business in global times. Agility and your business. Can we volatility, agility and ability more successful? So we did this trying to how you can make your business flexible. Assuming that the raw materials that we buy, we have to enter this very in which you can see options that you can put in place so that the business will not just die, but at least you have other options that you can use even to sustain your business. I don't know what is happening. Any information about what is happening in your business. When those things are happening, then you now see that it has been affected me, and I didn't know and I didn't care about this. So you need to stay informed and you need to stay focused. The next slide, please. I will move on to the next slide. Identify your customer base. How do you identify your customer base? And we have an example that we will the first one when you want to do how to do things online, to be training online, what things like living and accounting and communication, you have to identify on time because of the situation in which you find yourself. So that you are not just reading on the business, you have to be able to sustain the business continuity plan. When things like that happen again, how do you maintain your success going on? These are the things that we ask that you put in place so that you know already situation like this happen. I can still in the midst of clients and I still meet with my customers. And also think ahead of succession plan. That if you get about you and you know the successful plan I'm doing, these are the things that the whole people your business people over and beyond you. Succession plan, who are the people that I can train, who are the people that can talk now and then so that they can be highly saving to the next time. Those are the people that will sustain your business. overall, which maintain the something imagine market economy and focus on building long-term relationship and stakeholders. We start to see everything on the I think that I feel very good that people
the sexual or very sex will themselves be one central of this building. One of these issues if I'm not mistaken, we have to also, but I think it's science and science. We don't understand. We don't understand that it's also I believe it's very much so it's requests for this chapter of business. Is right. She was I want to check with guys so we never going to do this is not particular. Thank you very much.
thank you. Wow. It's a wonderful section. Are we using that? The help of the platform committee. Thank you for finding time to come this afternoon to so much learning on us. You help us to pilot the business with strong. It is one to have a business, just like we said, you think you're doing one, then you pay us $100. You just say balances in your account and you keep spending. So I want two businesses I will not face and I can't for ourselves, I even as CEO. You have to put yourself at a salary if you want to actually run a business, even if it's your own business. And that is the best sign of keeping good balance. How will you keep your background and watch your standings? So, on behalf of this committee, I want to present this club level multi-club level facilitation to me welcome. So find time to the because we appreciate this. Thank you for this.
Thank you. Very much. And I'm just in the site, so we've been once it's been forward. Thank you very much for the that session. Thank you, Bob. Right, especially of the witness the event of our very, very social district government. Yes. So of course, we it's something else. It will be foundation because it allows you to get us started with the Yeah. I'll be easy. For the next section. Yeah. Yeah. Please don't have that. Please thank you very much. I think it's not about the other things. Thank you. Good afternoon. Very much that we see how and I also believe us not us because our question will come to any of the speakers. So please, still be specific on us. Please do have the word with no please. Thinking about what I'm talking about us. And so that's answer and similarly, Rotary International sits with just 2 legs. The one you sit on 2 legs, no limits. We talk about membership. Now we're talking about foundation. But before we go about foundation, we have to talk about sustainable business. And then we get into and so to me, it does not speak to us. Just try and move on. That's why it's used to just something else. So much of us, every of us, we don't really understand.
Thank you very much. My district governor, fellow Rotarians, my guests. Just like the last speaker said, they thought of how to make money. I think I'm here to tell you how to spend it. The Rotary Foundation. As well, the Rotary Foundation is the backbone of the Rotary movement. It's grown steadily over years, and once you understand exactly how the Rotary Foundation works, then there's a beauty, and they would love to be in Rotary. Okay, we have the next slide already. This is the mission of the Rotary Foundation. It's to enable Rotarians to advance one understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. That's how we used to say it in those days until we got a new one at the fourth line, protecting the environment. That encompasses everything that we do in the Rotary Foundation. Next slide. Yeah, this person, Archibald Upakron. And we all know him, he's the founder, or he did to be the founder of the Rotary Foundation. He was a charter member of the Rotary Club of Cleveland in 1910. He became president of his club in 1913. He became RI president in 1916. You see how fast it was. I wish it was like that. I don't know with the RI president. But I was very rapid in those days. And I was mentors of people giving it valedictory speech. You need to know the history about the Rotary Foundation, you can digest exactly how it worked. In 1917 in Atlanta, he was giving this valedictory speech. And there are some portion of it that was quite pertinent, and it's thought to be what formed what we now know as the Rotary Foundation. Next slide. Yes, it says, we have called the attention of the organization this year to the possibility of a future endowment fund for Rotary. Carrying on as it were, the miscellaneous community service, it seems eminently proper that we should accept endowments for the purpose of doing good in the world, in charitable, educational, and other avenues of community progress. Through this year's profound statement, the Rotary Endowment Fund was born. It was initially called an endowment fund from 1930. The time, next slide. Yes, you can see it was born as an endowment fund in 1917. The first donation, I think that's the image from that slide, it's now 19. We have a very big, a lot of bees, there are about 2 or 3 stories about this $26. Initially, it was thought that yes, Rotary City was the host of the next convention. And in 1918, and it was the profits that they made from that convention that they do. Many of you who are old Rotarians who are in Atlanta in 2017 in the centenary of the Rotary Foundation during the convention. We went to the booth, they wanted the green story about this, and they said, no, the 180 days, the club delegate that sent to the convention were given $100 to donate to the outgoing president. And the cost of some change of $26 for the club, this is the amount less than $100. And the president, they have been talked about something about an endowment fund and the model of grace. Maybe this thing, since it's for convention, just send it back to Atlanta. And that donation of $56.50 was costly money for the Rotary Foundation. The endowment in 1928, the Rotary reorganized this endowment fund at the convention and now named this the Rotary Foundation. You see the money there was still very small, down about $1,000. And they started to make donations. The first donation, and see that slide, and they talk about the So our first contact with Henley Polio was in 1930 with that donation. But the Rotary Foundation too became something else after the death of Paul Harris in 1947. And they loved the funds, and he wrote it in his will that they should not buy anything for him, no reason, and if anybody wants to spend any money, then they just donate it to the Rotary Foundation. And that was sent around the whole world in telegrams, and donations started to probably they made about $2 million from the donations that came in that year. Next slide, please. But now the structure is now formed, and you now have the fund that you can donate to. Many of you recognize what this is. Those are pays you earn when you donate to the annual program fund. For you to understand this, well, there are about 3 funds that you can contribute to in the Rotary Foundation. The first and the most popular one is what we call the annual program fund. That's where you put your earning, your PHF, and so on and so forth. And that's what many people know about. And when you donate $1,000, you get that pin. That is for Harris Fellow pin. How many of us here are for Harris Fellow? I will have our hands up. Thank you very much for your support of the Rotary Foundation. But as you contribute more and more, every $1,000 additional that you put in, it gives you an extra sapphire. So you can have 1 sapphire, 2 sapphire, 3 sapphires, 4 and 5. And after that, you have 1 rupee, 2 rupees, and 3 rupees. That will get you up to $9,000. When you go above that, now you're not just a big league, you become a major donor. Next slide, please. Okay, now this is the endowment fund. The endowment fund is the second kind of fund that you can contribute money to. And in the wisdom of the Rotary leaders, they found out that when you contribute to the other fund is really invested. And it's invested for 3 years. And at the end of the 3-year cycle, the money is brought back and spent on various projects that they are funding all over the world. And they noticed a trend. If you have a short money, there will be trouble in 3 years' time. But if you have a lot of money now, yes, there will be no money in 3 years' time. So they created this endowment fund as a buffer fund in which your contributions you make in there, you put it there, also invested. By the end of that 3-year cycle, only the interest is allowed to be spent. The principal amount remains there. In fact, in some years, when there's enough money, they don't even touch it. They leave it there and they continue to get interest. So the endowment fund guarantees the sustainability, the future sustainability of a lot of projects that Rotary is backing or is on. And so you may find 4 or 5 years and they don't touch it. Sometimes there's a shortfall in funding or some increase in spending. Like they claim everything when COVID, for example, and when they need a lot of money, and they have to report the principal amount of the endowment fund remains there, and it's going to remain there literally forever. When you contribute to the endowment fund, you are called a benefactor. Every person that contributes up to $1,000, and you have that attachment in your attachment to a Paris fellow, whichever one, I tell you that you are not another PHF, you are now moved to another level. So when you put that time where you can use it to harass other people who have only a simple PHFP. The next slide, please. Yeah, the polio platform is second. When you contribute to the polio platform, the eradication program. Next slide. Yeah, now the category. This is the really when your contribution reaches $10,000, no matter what, now you contributed your money. Another program for the government fund, the polio platform. It does not matter. When the cumulative amount is more than $10,000, you are now called a major donor. And there are various levels of major donor. When it gets to $10,000, you are level 2, $50,000, and level 3. Again, other, they actually go. And by level 4, level 4, you will not become young next to believe they will die. You remember, you become a member of the society when you name the Rotary Foundation your will and the contribution or the donation. That media can be a cash or time, whatever way. If it's above $10,000 and the thing is verified, and you are now elected into the request site. If you have, I will joke about it, you have 4 or 5 houses spread all over Lagos, and you can say the house you have in Kenya, you give it to your wife. The one in Surulere, you give it to your side chick, and the one in the Mixer Island. Your side chick, they are having a very vital the one you have, that is okay. You give that one to the Rotary Foundation that you will of society. They come the value it. It's about $10,000. You are now elected as a member of the West Society. They usually don't do much about it, they thank you, but when they get the notice that the person has passed away, they come around, they send their accountants the videos, and they usually don't dispose of the property. They're not interested in collecting rents or anything like that. They don't sell it, and the money goes straight to the Rotary Foundation. So they don't consider that money in house. Yes, so you will not make donation there and you become a major donor, you become a member of the Export Society because the money is not in yet. They call them expectants. There is not money in the bank. Next slide, please. Okay, this is the Export Society. Those are for people whose contribution in whatever of the funds go beyond $250,000 US. And that's the zenith of what category you can be as a contributor to the Rotary Foundation. Next slide, please. I'm trying to be fast. Okay, when you are really an elaborate ceremony, you usually prepare a royalty, the ceremony in embassy where your flag is now put in a gallery called the National Society Gallery, and it says there, and it's beautiful backlit glass flags, of your frame, and it's there literally forever. I think I have one of mine there. Next slide, please. Yes, that's from 10 years ago when I became a member of the Export Society. Next slide, please. And there are various levels of Export Society members also too. $250,000 and above, you are in the trustee cycle. The chair cycle is $500,000, and the foundation cycle is $1 million. There are those people who have ambition of getting to that sometime in their lifetime. Next slide, please. Every Rotarian area, this is the smallest, this is the lowest Rotary expects any person who wants to call himself a Rotarian to contribute $100 a year. Every Rotarian every year. Your dues is compulsory. If you don't pay your dues, you are dropped out. So nobody will thank you for paying your dues. But you have to be able to go beyond that. That little step, at least $100 every year that you contribute to the Rotary Foundation, and that is what every is. How many of us are paid a minimum of $100 this Rotary year? You see, and how many of us plan to contribute at least $100 every year? Yeah, you know what we call them? We call them rhinos. You know what rhinos are? The name only. We need to go out beyond that. Because we didn't find it a lot of things that we did. We get the feed, we have everything, we have the polio feed. And sometimes I challenge some people jokingly, what really have you done? You are very good. What really have you done? I think polio. Did you contribute to the polio fund? This year, last year, or when last? Did you contribute? And they look at it, yeah, you should do something. That way you can feel it in your mind that yes, I should do that. That the polio fund that our lady is marketing every single day. And I hope each and every one of us there can make a contribution. Contribute $10, $20, $100. We wrote to polio. At least that is the 8th day now. 2 days ago was the World Polio Day. Many of us commemorated that day. I just contributing a bit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's not too late. Sometimes during this month, please make some contribution. And you said you need to validate your contribution, your evidence of payment to validate and basic contribution. And you can credit it. Next slide, please. Now we bring out the money, how do we spend it? There's an elaborate structure of Rotary for spending the funds that they contribute. And then the board of trustees are managing the business of the foundation, led by trustee chair. And the trustee chair this year is by Racing, and the president of PDG. Yeah, and he was honorary president 2018-2019. The trustee chair sat for 1 year, and the trustee sat for a next slide, please. Now, growing foundation spending, and I explained all the money donated to the foundation are invested in high yielding ventures like stock fund and real estate, and advised by the trustees for a period of 3 years. And after 3 years, the funds available to be spent at the next slide. Now, the annual program fund. The monies you contribute to the annual program fund is invested. And when it comes out, it's divided into two. One is called the World Fund, and another is called the District Designated Fund. And usually used to be 50, you now say it's 45. They now subtracted 100%. But for you to understand, it can still be easy for you to say it's 50%. They deducted 5% because they probably come from running the fund with the accountants, and auditors, and investment managers there and there. It's because people are that they have to take some bit of it to use in managing the fund. So half of the fund savings are the one that saved the MRC. And then the district designated fund, that is the 50% of the amount contributed by that district is sent back to the district for use of the district. The same thing done with the endowment fund, but as I said, the interest is subtracted or is extracted and is not used the same way. 50% kept as one fund, 50% sent back to the district. And now the middle block fund is just sent straight over the next slide, please. Now, when the money comes, and the money now is now used in a form of grants. All the money spent by the Road Foundation is in form of grants. The first one that you will know most easily are the district grants. The district grants is under the control of the district government. The district designated funds that I talked about in the last slide is subdivided into two again. And one part is used for district grants, and the other half is used for global grants. Clubs that apply for global grants, they can get money from that other half. That is a problem we have in this district. We don't see a lot of clubs apply for global grants. But global grants are bigger, they have access to a lot more money. The district grants are just limited to the half of the DDA. And in fact, every club should be able to apply for a district grant. The requirements are very simple, it's easy, you just need to attend the grant management seminar and sign an MOU. Sign an MOU is very important with the Road Foundation. MOU means you have attended the grant management seminar, they will explain to you the intricacies of handling this fund, so that you don't say you did not know how you should spend the money, what you spend it on, how you should document it, how you should report it, will have been explained to you at the grant management, and then you sign. So that these are donors funds and they don't take kindly to any person mismanaging the fund. So when you sign it, you are applying now to apply both for district grants and for global grants. For the district grants are very easy, is what the district governor says it should be spent for. So I always smile very nicely to our district governor so that they can have mercy on you and give you more money for the district grants. But the requirements are very simple. But for the global grants, they don't want to pay, you have to have international partners, you have to ensure sustainability, you have to have a lot of other things, but for big money. The next one is what you call, well, I talk a bit about the global grants. Global grants are for projects that cost at least $30,000. So it must be a big project. And you have to describe what the project will be, you have to describe the Rotarians to participate well in it, how do you fund it, how is this sustainable, and you have to have international partners. You remember your fourth, what do you call it? A lot of requirements that you actually need to get your local foundation global grants. State grants now yet another level. Scale grant, you don't need a lot of factors, you don't need anything. You apply for it. It's for a project that costs at least $3 million. They only give one a year. But you should have been able to demonstrate that you have done global grants on that project and you are capable of scaling it up to a national or international scale. That's why it's called a scale grant. Project that should be doing, obviously, if you did a global grant on that project, you will have documentation with them, they will understand that, yes, this is what done that done well. And what you now need to do is that you can scale it up. The project that you did in Lagos alone, and you do it nationally. You demonstrate you met Minister of Health, you've gone around on the stage, and you come to blah, 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 blah. And then you compete for this because it's being competed for all over the world. And they do it in a select one person, one project. One project I won in Nigeria, and that is for the malaria control. That was last year. Oh, yes, that was last year. So Nigeria is not doing badly. The last one before that was in Egypt for the cervical cancer project. Another one in Zambia. Is it Zambia or Tanzania? Zambia. Zambia, yes. That was also for malaria control too. So be ready, those on clubs or even the district that have participated in the global grants, see whether they can scale it up to the scale grants. Disaster relief grants are new grants that came in after COVID attacks every one of us. And so if you have a disaster in your area, you can apply very easy, quick, because it will be in the news and they can know that there's a disaster somewhere there, and the Rotary Club or district in that area can apply immediately. It's very simple. Within 2 weeks, you get the money. It's $25,000, and you get it immediately. Please to give support to people who are, affected by that disaster. The earthquake in Morocco, for example, the district club, got money immediately. We got during COVID. We did during the COVID, and we got money immediately. And we're able to do. Better remember they look like claims that we gave benefits to alleviate the effects of the COVID is. To alleviate the effects of COVID. Those are the different kinds of grants that you can apply for. But please, every one of you, especially those who attended the grant managers, maybe you not attend it. Finally, you lost out this Rotary year, but it's something that all of us will keep writing to presidents and secretaries repeatedly. Attend the grant managers, and that's the minimum you can do. And after you attend, they are given a form, you sign it, and you are qualified. You won't. I said, this is free fund. You see a lot of clubs, they levy their members, or those people who are begging for mercy or protesting. You want to do this project, you want to levy 10,000, 20,000. But when there's easy money available, it will not cost you a couple to apply for a district or apply for global grant. You can get a few that go to conventions and so on and so forth. We just go and enjoy ourselves. But that's the forum that you can make friends, you can have links with people in other countries, in other districts, and they become handy. You will support them for their global grants, and they will support you for their global grant. So, international understanding is the key to global grants. Now, the difference between global grants and district grants, you see, I've explained quite a few of them. Minimum is $30,000 for global grants. Anything from DDF, that's why you get a district grants. And they are very strict with global grants right now. They must be one of the areas of focus. There's no restriction in the district grants. That's a bit small. You want to give some aside books or something, you don't want to. After one, they want to paint some pedestrian crossing on this road. And that by Rotary Club, and they got some money. You don't need to talk about it, but for global grants, it's very strict. And they must have internet partners and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. To qualify a club, I talked about it, you must have an MOU, you must go to the grant management center, you have a dedicated account for your grants. And if it's a long-term project, you must qualify each and every year for that global for the global grant. Next slide. Well, they run through the guidelines if you want to access global grant, but related to the Rotary Foundation, they include active participation from Rotary, so that you don't just send a check to an orphanage and call it a project. That's the project. You must demonstrate that there's an active participation of Rotarians. Explore the ability of the Rotary Foundation or Rotary beyond funding the grants. Quite important. You weigh the risk. There have been projects from clubs or districts, and they go and do some medical project. Maybe you perform free surgeries for, some people with mania, or some people with goiter, or some people with hole in their heart, and so on and so forth. And then one of the patient dies. And then they sue the club. We're just giving you money, don't come for everyone. You accept the thing yourself. And we are not liable for anything beyond just giving you money. That's quite important for them. And then you are dealing with the government laws of the United States and the whole area. That goes without saying. Then fund will be used for activities that have been reviewed and approved before implementation. Some people go and do the projects and now think that they will use the grant to record us, and they will discover it in the chronology of deductions when you send them the bank statement. And if they see that you are playing funny with it, they just ban your club and ban your district from ever accessing global grant fraud. And that will be terrible. So that is why the committees are there at the district level to guide you as to how to handle funds of the Rotary Foundation. Next slide. Secure, you cannot discriminate against any person. You cannot use it for any political, so you don't use your money and say you want to go and do rally for PDP or APC. And you cannot use it to support any religious functions. You cannot use it for anything that involves abortion or the sexual nature. You cannot use it to buy arms or serve as convenience to another foundation. This is quite a funny one. There have been clubs that were discovered. They were giving money for district grants, and they ended up not doing the grant, and the president just sent the money back to make himself PHF for the foundation. I didn't touch the money, I just sent it back to the CFA's foundation to foundation. So like that, it's not like that. You have to be done money and return things. So the foundation, so that you cannot take money from the foundation, then you need to donate again to the Rotary Foundation. Next slide, please. Continue to access support of any president, so you tend to spread the activities purchase of land or building, we really notice this. Rotary Foundation does not. You can do projects on your own, but the one funded by the Rotary Foundation, we call them brick and mortar projects. Brick and mortar projects, they tend not to support those projects because the idea is that if at the beginning you are just laying the foundation, you are already asking for help. How will you finish it? How will you equip it before it becomes functional? So they don't tend to fund brick and mortar projects. But if you want to do a health center, build a hospital, put up the structure. When you finish, you want to equip it. They want it to see how you will fund it until it becomes functional, so that they don't have abandoned projects all over the place. So I think Rotary Club of Lagos Francophone said that they build their high hospital, they raise the funds for that. And when they came to equipping the hospital, they got the raise money, they got big money to equip, and the hospital is now functional. Public Lagos activities of left projects and yes, that goes without saying. Next slide, please. Now the pictogram as to how money flows from what is donated from Rotarians, individuals, Rotary Club districts, and organizations. Goes in there and divided into the previous formula for endowment from the gold right until it becomes available for other global grants or district grants. Next slide. Okay, yes, that is. You all know about Chinese revolution. In fact, this one is now 15 years. It's an old slide. There is that organization called the Charity Navigator that monitors charities all over the world. And they tend to, because many people want to donate, but they don't know who to donate to. They want to do something. And they are afraid they will, some donate 100 and they will honor of the charity, use it to buy a private jet. We see them all around in here. So this organizer is there and it grades charities. They go through their books and see how transparent it is. How do they spend the money? How much impact do they have? How much accountability do they have? What is the cost of running? If you're raising $100 and you are using $90 to run the organization, that is a very inefficient organization. But if you raise this $100, you not run at $10 so that 90 will be available to support whatever project you have. And they score charities, either 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 stars, 4 stars. A lot of organizations in Nigeria are 0 stars or 1 star or something. But the Rotary Foundation for the last 15 years have been 4-star rating, 4-star rating every year, year in, year out, back to back, the highest rating of any charity anywhere in the world. And that is something that I've done for the Rotary Foundation. So that if you want to do good in the world, look for a charity that has this kind of designation, and the money you are giving the organization will go to what you want it to. It will not end up somewhere in one funny book. And that is why Rotary Foundation is a charity of choice for anybody who wants to do any charity giving. Next slide, please. Okay, these are the areas of focus that I can deal with. I hope many of us know what all these are. That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and you've been mentioning thousands of dollars, and you've been looking at the survey about 1,000 naira, 5,000 naira. The way it's is, you don't know. Thank you very much. May God continue to bless you. May your fountain of knowledge never go dry, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you. So that we can all be, I know your prayer is also join you on that to get God. We will be there. I'm not going to say that. I'm trying to ensure we finish this in about 15-20 minutes. So we're straight to the mental health awareness session. And of course, it's going to be an interactive session. And interactive session can actually take more than you imagine. So we have between 12 and 15 minutes. I noticed that anytime I see 15 minutes, they keep adding the 10 minutes by themselves. But it's okay, we're enjoying the content. So I'm going to see what we can do within 15 minutes for this mental health awareness session. And of course, we invited, so we brought the person all the way from there. So we will have this. Lagos or a while, so she understands. Lagos is like Nigeria. Am I going to write? Nigeria. After this, a yoga instructor. So simple instruction for bringing good health, either mental or physical, to anyone. I'm going to you all the way from India, and mature. And she's different things to take the session for the next 15 minutes. Could I do it as well? We can manage the time together. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Let me confirm. Share with me. Let me answer.
Good afternoon. My name is Rotarian Kalpana Mathur, and I come all the way from India, and I came 9 years ago. I represent my club, Rotary Club of Eco Atlantic. My president right here. Thank you very much. And I'm in charge of
Everyone
the
doesn't know.
mental health project.
You be their family.
I would like to recognize the presence of our DG, our past DG, our committee chair, multi-club learning seminar, AG, Rotarian Biodu, Washington University.
We'll try.
All my distinguished Rotarians, and welcome to God's Service. Can I have my AG here? Where is he? AG. Yes. AG, I need you here. Now, before we start with the presentation, I'd like everybody to please stand. I need you to just make it like a little bit, makes you not overdose on the patient. So, a little bit of our structure.
I hear once.
Means my name is Veronica Isidola from Rotary Club of Omole Gold. It actually means to me that we should take control of our minds. Now we should be in control. We should not let the environment or what is surrounding us, don't let it control you. take control of your mind yourself.
Perfect, please. Perfect. Next time. Now, the WHO, that the World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of mental well-being. A state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life. That means your mental being and you're able to cope up with the stresses of your life. You realize your own abilities, you learn well and you work well. This is a mental health that WHO defines. So simply put, a healthy mind or a healthy mental state is one where you feel good. So every day when you wake up, you feel good. How many of us really feel good when you wake up? Every day. That's it. Just a few. So you feel good, you function well, and you can cope up with the normal stresses. Normal stresses, please. Normal stresses. So you're able to cope up with the normal stresses of life. You learn and work productive. Weak mental state. Now, what is actually a weak mental state? An inability to cope with the daily stresses and find difficulties in making life choices. Maybe when I go to my next slide, probably you will understand what does the weak mental state actually mean. Here I have I've got 4 stages of the mental health. This is where I think most of us are. We will consider probably ourselves into this, the healthy state of mind, where we are always in good mood, we sleep well, we are physically and emotionally very well, we are focused in our work, in most of our work, we are able to deal even in stressful times. We can perform our daily chores well, we behave ethically. Our sense of humor is pretty good. So this is where we are. But when our stress level increases, what happens next? You have an overdose of workloads. When the stress increases every day, you've got a pile of loads at work that are happening. What happens to us? We get a little restless. We start having mood fluctuations. Now, mood fluctuations is sometimes you are happy, sometimes you're not so happy, you're irritable. A lot of mood fluctuations can happen. This is a stage 1 where you're, the moment you enter home and you're very stressed, you come home, you're not really very happy, but you're a little irritated. So even if somebody says something to you, you snap. Physically, you're tired. In a normal, healthy, you're tired, but you can relax and just, you're fine. In the second stage, you're physically tired, you're distracted. So, you're working, but your attention span is not as good. You're agitated, you have a mental paralysis. That means you talk and suddenly you just don't know what you're talking about. Sometimes you have that you're talking, oh, what was I talking about? I was saying something. Okay, so that's now at this point in the stage 1, it's where probably most of us are in the healthy and the stage 1, between these two, depending our stress loads, depending our environmental stress, our social stress, everything. Okay? And mostly depending on our health. But at this stage, if you do not take care of what happens. We move on to the second stage, which is persistent anxiety. Now, in short, so let's put it, you get more and more restless every day. If you are unable to deal with your situation, you fall into the persistent anxiety. You're all the time anxious about something because you're not able to solve, or you're not able to find a solution. You're just not able to overcome something. So there's a persistent anxiety. So it's like it's like a clock which is stuck. The seconds hand which is stuck. That seconds hand is stuck in your brain. You're only persistently thinking about that problem all the time with no solutions. And because of that, because you're persistently thinking, you start losing a lot of energy. You get tired most. Emotionally, you become numb. Because you're so deep into your own thoughts. And you start feeling numb within you. You're like, I don't know what to do. I just don't know what's happening. You start becoming numb. Now, when you feel numb, you really feel like doing anything in the house, or do you feel like doing anything at all? You don't feel like doing anything. You stop going out, you stop socializing, you stop meeting people, you kind of start isolating yourselves. At this time, also, if you don't realize and look for help, any kind, you move on to the third stage, which is the final stage. There's chronic anxiety and depression. I call depression the serial killer because that's the last stage if you don't come back. I call depression the serial killer. In this stage, a person is all the time and she picks up back. It many times keeps getting panic attacks. Any kind of a trigger and person falls into panic attack. Insomnia, can't sleep at all. Complete mental paralysis. No thoughts, just nothing. No rational thoughts, no thoughts at all. That clock is only stuck in that one place. Just one thing. Complete social isolation. Such people just lock themselves in their rooms. They forget eating, they forget sleeping, they forget everything else. Because they don't know what to do. They're just in that one thought. All times. They're just there. Now at this stage, if they don't get help, or they don't ask for help, there's only the last resort for them is suicide. They start developing desires, thoughts to just end their life. Why? Because of that one thing that they can't find solutions. They can't find answers. They can't solve their problems. It could be any problem, just any problem, because they don't understand the problem, and that's the reason they can't find the problems, the solution to the problems. So these are the four stages. Would anybody want to say anything about this? Any correlation? Can you relate to anything? You want to say any sharing that you'd like to do at this stage? Everybody's okay? Can I go on to the next stage?
Yes.
We talked about the segment.
The third,
The third stage.
the agent stage. Third stage. So like,
Insomnia.
Okay, we talk about that. So like on the top stage, no one is already there. I'm confused. You know, sometimes some of us wake up in the night. You sleep for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, you wake up and you discover that the sleep has vanished. I'm confused between insomnia and this.
in this particular case, you just can't sleep. Not even for 3-4 hours. You just can't sleep. In other times, sleeping 4 hours, 5 hours is okay. It's normal under stress. Under this the first stage. That you sleep for 3-4 hours and then you wake up. And then again you are falls or you do something, again you fall asleep. So that is that you could come under the stage 2. But under stage 3, you just can't sleep. You're awake all night. And that is what increases your stress, increases your anxiety, increases your depression because you can't sleep. The body gets no rest, zero rest. Instant. I would like you to, I would like to get a little statistics about the mental illness which is around the world. Can everybody see this? Yeah? Everybody here also can see this? Okay. Which one is the highest illness or the disorder that you can see here? Which one is the highest one? Anxiety. Where does anxiety sit in your body? Where does anxiety sit? Where does anxiety sit in the body? Mind. Mind, it does not sit in the mind. It comes from the mind. Where does it sit? It's constantly there. Okay. It sits here. No. On your stomach. When you're anxious, what happens to you? It starts with a butterfly first. Yeah, so when I was there for 3 hours, I had butterflies. I was waiting for 3 hours. When will my turn come? So it sits here. And from here, it goes here. So anxiety starts from here. Now, if it sits here, where does it affect? What is the effect? Okay, let's put it this way. If it sits here, you're constantly anxiety. What does it affect?
Higher control. Heartbeats.
Heartbeat. Okay, it increases the heartbeat. What else does it affect if it sits here in your stomach? Your digestive system. Yeah. You either, yes. So you're not able to eat food. So you see, it starts from here. It goes here. It goes here. It goes here. It goes all over the body. With that one small feeling of anxiety, of anxiety, for something what? Something that probably you weren't able to do. Now this anxiety, now this is actually the recorded statistics, by international world population. It's been recorded because it's recording to the world population. This is 300 million people recorded suffering from insects. But there are many who have not been recorded here. Because these are those people who probably been to a hospital. They reached the third stage of probably going to a hospital, and that's why they're recorded. What about those who have not been recorded? How many of us really know people who are suffering and who have not been recorded here, who have not reached there? How many of us? Do you know anybody around?
Yeah, really.
You don't know nobody around. Please feel free. We are not to judge anybody. It's a very practical session. I know many around me. Second most is number 2. Depression. What is depression?
It's not our.
Okay. We'll come to that. So, 280 billion out of 970 billion world population suffer depression. Third largest, ADHD, 139.8 million. Autism, schizophrenia, OCD. These are all results of anxiety and depression. But this is the recorded world population suffering from the mental disorder. Now, I'd like to give you a brief on a few of the illnesses. Would anybody know what is a bipolar? Mental order? Mood swing. Okay. Anybody else? A bipolar disorder. A bipolar disorder is a multiple personalities. Kind of. So a bipolar disorder, somebody who's suffering from a bipolar disorder. The reason I'll be giving you these is for you to understand the difference in these kind of mental disorders. And then today and tomorrow, when you meet people or when people around you, you know, you understand what's happening to them. So there's a fluctuation between people suffering from bipolar disorder. There's a fluctuation between manic moods, that is, they are extremely confident, and depressive moods. That means they're extremely low, completely isolated. They feel very, very, very low. So they have these mood swings, which go very high and very low. At times they're super happy, and at times they're super sad. So those are the bipolar disorders. Schizophrenia, again a mental disorder. Okay. These are people who suffer from hallucinations. Do you know anybody, or do you know of people suffering from hallucinations? Have you heard of people suffering from hallucinations? Okay. But so they suffer from hallucinations and delusions, but they're not dangerous. So when somebody says that she's got schizophrenia, you tend to think that they are harmful people, that they can harm you. But they're not dangerous. Now, when you undergo anxiety and depression, some of them can have a tendency of developing eating disorders. Anybody? Knowing anybody with eating disorders or? Okay. So let's understand what eating disorders are. Okay, somebody explain to me what is eating disorder? No? Okay. So it's just not eating too much. It's uncontrolled desire to eat. You have no control over your eating. You just keep on eating. You eat too much or you eat too little. You don't feel like eating anything. So that's your eating disorder. Eating disorder has 3 stages. One is called anorexia, where you starve yourself. You see many celebrities who are very thin. They are known as the zero figure. These are the ladies who starve themselves. They actually don't eat much. Or they suffer from bulimia. Bulimia is where you eat a lot and then you throw up because you want to maintain that weight. But these are disorders. These are not just to maintain good health, it is a disorder. ADHD, 139.8 million people suffer from this. Now, what is ADHD? It's called attention deficit hyperactive disorder. This starts from a very, very, very early age, from the childhood. You'll find many teachers and many doctors saying the child has an ADHD problem. In this, they can't focus, their inability to regulate their focus. They only focus on things that makes them happy. Like you see, many children only love the paints, they keep painting. They love a lot of artwork, they love a lot of painting, creative work. So these are some of the mental disorders. Now, I would like to go back to anxiety. Okay, so let's understand anxiety once again. What is anxiety? Now, I really want somebody to tell me, because I'm sure everybody goes through it. The little butterfly in the tummy. My AG, my DG, somebody. You're anxious. Okay. What happens when you're anxious? You're worried. You're nervous. You're restless. Now, sorry? Tired. But this is normal. You're worrying, you're anxious. This is normal. This is normal. That happens to us and we overcome it, right? So you're fine after some time. But what happens when you're not fine, even after that? What happens when you're just continuously anxious, and anxious? What happens to you when you're continuously anxious? You start developing fear. A constant fear. So it starts with the fear. You're scared. You're scared. What happens when you cannot overcome your fear? You don't stop worrying. You go into a mental hypertrophy. Your mind is racing. It's just racing constantly. It cannot just stop. That racing leads you to anxiety. Now, untreated anxiety which cannot be treated, leads you to stroke and impairment in your function. It leads you to these disorders, mental disorders like OCD, behavioral disorder, and then remain all disorders, all the positive disorders. You could be a victim to any of these disorders. You don't know. But if it is still untreated, what happens? You fall into depression because you've given up. You can't deal with your anxiety. You have given up. So you go into depression. So, I call it the silent killing. World population suffering to 18 million, out of which men are 5.6 million, women are 8.4 million, more women than men. Senior citizens 60 and above are 15.96 million. Imagine how many senior citizens are depressed. What's happening to them? Then we have prenatal and postnatal depressions, women during childbirth, and 700,000 suicides per year. What leads to the suicides? Why does a person want to just commit suicide? Why do you want to just end your life? Why? Because you have no answers to your problems. You don't know how to get out of your problem. You don't know how to deal with your problem. So you feel it's better to just give it up. Mental illness in Nigeria. In Africa itself, 116 million Africans, these are only recorded, not the unrecorded ones. 116 million Africans suffer from mental disorders, out of which Nigeria is 50 million alone. And this is the recorded one, maybe 3 years back. This is 2019-2020. So now I guess it's just increased much more. 50 million is not a small number for a population which is not so much. Now, why is this happening? 50 million people, why are they suffering? Recorded, again, recorded 50 million people. And there are some few on the way as well. Why 50 million people? Because they don't have access to mental health care. There are no psychiatrists, not many. There are only 300 to treat 200 million people. Only 10% of these people have an access to a psychiatric care. So Nigeria ranks 15. It's a very high number, 15 in the world for suicides. I don't know if everybody was aware, there was just one WhatsApp that did rounds of a young gentleman committing suicide on the freeway. Why would he just do that? He was lucky. Why would he just hang himself in the middle of the road? Why? Why would he do it? What made him do that? Because he couldn't express himself. He didn't know where to go for help. He didn't know whom to talk to. There was nobody around him to speak to. There was no facility to help him out. And most of it, did he really know he had a problem? Committing suicide happens when is the last stage. That means in the first stage, he didn't realize that he had a problem. He was not aware. There was nobody to tell him or guide him that he has a problem. And if he did have a problem, he had a fear that if I do approach somebody, I will be a social stigma. They will call me the man. They give me some names and call me by these names. So he had a fear of approaching. He didn't want to approach people, and he thought the best way to do was to just come to himself. One last thing in Nigeria. Even if a person is aware, realizes, accepts, fights with the social stigma, does go for help, but can he afford that help? There are very few rich who can afford it. 25,000 naira per sitting, per psychiatric treatment, per psychologist treatment, who wants 3 sitting a week. That means 12 sittings in a week. That's a few 100,000 naira. Can a person afford that every month? And the treatment does not take just a few days. It takes months to get out of that. It takes months and even years. Can they afford it? How many can really afford it in Nigeria? How many? It's a question that all of us need to really ask. How many can really afford this treatment? I'm sure we know many people around us who are undergoing these disorders. Probably we are not aware that they are going through severe ones. We are not aware of the different signs probably that they might show. But since all of us fall under the healthy ones, how can we help those who need help? Because people around us are crying for help, but they don't know how to approach this. It is us who have to recognize them, their problems, give them a helping ear, not a helping hand. They need to hear. Help them. Okay. Be their friends. Listen to them. Start from your child. Listen to your child. 58 million children undergo anxiety. 23 million children undergo depression. Again, they're hospital, as in recorded ones, not the unrecorded, but every child, 1 child in 8 is undergoing depression, anxiety, and mental disorders. Give them, hear them, sit down with them, talk to them, take them for treatments, care for them, sit with them as a family, play with them. Senior citizens, we feel because they grow old, they have no value in our lives. But they are our parents and they need to be valued. They need to be heard too. Give them a helping hand, give them love, give them emotion, a lot of love, a lot of care to them too. Don't let them reach, they also reach there very fast. Don't let them reach the last stage. Tell everybody around you, it's okay to ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
Wow.
To ask for, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We need to have concepts that can take us through and learn with us. Okay, imagine one lights. I know it's the explanation of the road, to do.